Good evening, students. Wishing you all very happy Holi. I'm sure you are equally keeping yourself balanced when it comes to studying and also keeping your commitments towards family, towards our culture intact by participating in all the relevant cultural events. At the same time, it is very important that for the purpose of your uh, mental stability, your mental focus, that you periodically keep on taking appropriate breaks, taking suitable gaps. See, it is important that when you are studying, study should be a balanced study. It cannot be that you are not doing it regularly. That will not work. So it has to be regular, sincere. But at the same time, between the 12 to 14 hours of sitting, what you are doing in a day, there has to be suitable breaks after maybe 2 to 3 hours, depending upon how well you can sit during various uh, periods of the day. So maybe in early morning periods, your sitting can be more. Maybe during afternoon periods, it can be less. So that you have to balance according to your body type, according to how well you are able to connect at different points of time. Also, it is equally important that you have a specific day, maybe after every 15 days, where you can take a complete break, a complete mental break, a complete psychological break from studies, where you will do what rejuvenates you mentally, emotionally, which may include meeting your friends, mainly non-professional friends. Otherwise, there also, if you start discussing how much you have prepared, what is the level of preparation in a particular topic, then it will not relax your mind. So it has to be a balanced approach, and you should give yourself appropriate rejuvenation, recreation, so that your mind doesn't resist studying. Many times I've seen certain students, they overstretch, they uh, bother, or they keep their mind so much occupied with studies that there comes a point where the mind starts resisting the study. It is not ready to focus, it is not ready to support you to sit for long hours. So this should not happen. So you should give your mind the suitable rest, the suitable recreation by doing what your mind likes. So it may be even freaking out with your friends, maybe going for some relaxing movie. All these things are equally required. See, as a professional, I always believe the key word is balance. The moment you have balance in every aspect, your outcome will be much, much higher than your expectations and your desires. So, with this small input, let us start our today's deliberation. So, very good evening, Karan, Akhila, Surinder, Divya, Dhanalakshmi, Sridhar, Divya, Nitin, Gayatri, Ananya, Veerashri, Maithili, everybody, very, very, very good evening. So, the next topic that we have to proceed, or next entry, starts from here. But before that, if any of you have any queries in any of the previous entries, any previous pointers, we can definitely take it up. So we completed up to this point where we were studying what are the services given to government. That would be exempt, right? Now we proceed with the next category of our entry. But before that, anybody, any query, we can take up. Yes, good evening, Harshal, Aditya, Hemlata, Meenu Kumari, everybody. Yes, any query, students? Anybody? Any doubts or queries? Yes, Harshal.
Hello, sir. In page number 5.83 in study model, in that entry number 36,
Hmm. Tell me.
in that point C,
What is point C? Tell me.
In that, ma'am, sir, maximum limit is given as a 2 lakh is exempted, and if a prescribed limit is exceed, then it is will be taxable, no, sir?
Obviously, beta, because they have given exemption up to the life insurance policy of 2 lakh rupees. So if the policy exceeds 2 lakhs, then the premium will be fully leviable to GST.
Okay. And second doubt is page number 5.84. On that,
Hmm.
sir, 12th number, General Insurance Business Services, entry number 35. In that G point,
Hmm.
premia collected on export credit insurance. Is there
Hmm.
any certain limit, whether it's a maximum or minimum?
But see, why is this question not in other entries only? Why it is in G? Because in any entry they have not put the limit, na? So when you are
Yeah.
asking me the question on limit, why it is only limited to G?
Okay, sir.
This question should come for all entries. Now why only G? Which means
I,
what? Where they have not given any entry over there, any amount of insurance premium is eligible for exemption.
okay, sir. Means no given, so we can say as a exempted.
Fully exempted, irrespective of amount.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Understood.
Yes. Yes, Dhanlakshmi.
Uh, yes, sir. So for service-related charitable and religious activities, sir,
Yes,
under that 80th entry, that is, it says recreational activities given by the individual is exempt, sir.
correct.
Because here we talk about the charitable and religious
No, but
activities. It is a trust.
that
Huh.
entry, actually, see, that entry has both. One entry is of religious
Yes.
charitable trust giving a particular service,
State.
and in
Yes.
that entry, it is also an individual. So it is not that the individual should be religious trust. So that was a common entry for recreational services in which both service providers are covered. One is a charitable trust and one is individual.
Okay. Religious ceremony also done by individual also is exempt, and also
In fact,
charitable
religious
also
ceremony will be done by individuals, Beda, because in all
individual.
our cultures, it
Hmm.
is the individuals who perform the religious programs and functions.
Okay, sir. Sir, under agricultural that comes now, sir. In that one, 54th entry, it says green
Yes.
tea leaves is an agricultural produce, sir. Green tea leaves.
See, again, understand one thing, Beda. Anything which is unprocessed, which is in the raw form, and it is in the form in which it is taken from the field, from the agricultural field, it will be called as agricultural product. Now,
Okay.
when you're talking about green tea leaves, now see, nowadays you have even green tea leaves coming to your house in a packet where they appear to be in the most raw form. Correct? They are dried and they are in the raw form, but still it will not be eligible to be called as agricultural produce because some processing has been done to bring it to your house. See, the simple criteria, Dhanlakshmi, is
Yes.
that in whatever form you are buying it, is it the same form in which the farmer sells it? If your answer is yes, then it is agricultural produce.
Okay, sir.
Now, when you're
Because
talking
in
about green leaves, if it is in the same form sold by the farmer cultivator of those green leaves, then yes, it will be agricultural produce. Otherwise, no. Yes, go ahead.
okay, yeah, because in page 5.21, there was one point, sir. This green tea leaves are not tea is the agricultural produce eligible for exemptions under the entry 54.
So it is
Yes,
not, na?
it is
It is
not,
not
sir.
or it is. What is the answer?
It says it is an agricultural produce. So I got
Correct.
confused.
See this one,
There.
right?
Yes, yes, sir.
Now see what it is saying. Tea used for making beverages such as black, green, white is processed product made in
Yes.
the factory after carrying out several processes such as drying, rolling, etc. Uh, all these processes are carried out on the green leaf and it is the process output. Thus, green tea leaves are not tea in the agricultural produce eligible for exemption.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Na? Even the raw tea
Yes.
leaves, that is what I said. Nowadays, you get these raw tea leaves which you use for making green tea and all, but they are
Hmm.
coming to your house in a packaged form, right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
So once the moment any extra process or activity is done on it, it is outside the agricultural definition.
Okay, sir. Sir, can I ask about the place of supply also, sir?
Yeah. You can ask anything, but
Sir, under place of supply, sir, when the supply is done to the unregistered person, when the address is mentioned in the invoice, then the unregistered person address, that is the place of supply.
You're talking about section 10 bracket 1 clause CA, that is sale of goods to unregistered person, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead.
And if it is not mentioned, then the place of the supplier is the place of supply.
Correct, beta.
Uh, So here, sir, when the place of supply of goods, particularly being supplied through e-commerce platform, they are telling, sir, to an unregistered person, which is there in 4.18 page number. There is they given one example. Mr. A is an unregistered person located in X state, and he is placing an order through e-platform. That is, he's placing a mobile phone to an address located in Y state. And the bill is in the address of the X state. But they are telling the location, now the billing address is Y state, they are telling, sir. Is it correct?
I'll do one thing. I'll open, you just tell me the page number. In the meantime, I'll open the page and I'll read that point and get back to you.
Okay, sir. 4.18, sir.
18
Yes,
or
sir.
80?
4.18.
Okay, I'll in the meantime, whenever we have a break, I'll fill that, and then maybe after the break, I'll answer your question. Is it okay?
Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Any other question? Yes, Nisha.
Sir, 5.47 service provided by government.
Yes. Tell me.
7 number. Sir, explain with example. I'm not getting that.
1 second. 5.47.
7.
Yes. Entry number
7.
7. Services provided by central government, state government, etc. to business entity. But this is the most common point. In fact, this is the only service which is taxable. Which service is taxable? Please remember one thing, where government is giving services to common man, it is exempt in the above entry number, this one, right? But where it gives services to a business entity, you're talking about D point, correct?
Yes, sir, 7.
So it covers all services which the government gives to a business entity. Now there are n number of examples, like whenever you are doing business, you have to take different types of permissions, approvals from the government for which the government charges fees. You have to take many signatures, or you have to take a lot of what you say, you file tender, so you have to pay some tender fees. So you have to apply for something, you have to pay some application fees. So these are all the charges which the government is collecting from a business. That is what is exempt. Only just keep this in mind that up to 5,000 they have made it exempt. Above 5,000 if the amount goes, then it is fully exempt. So there are n number of examples, better. So all types of fees, all types of tender fees, application fees, form fees, whatever the government charge to the business, they are all exempt, correct? Plus many times whenever you are doing business, you have to take permission. Like for example, you want to construct a special road to your premises. You cannot do it without the legal permission of the government, because that is what is the government's domain. So when government allows you that permission, for that there is a big amount that they charge. That is what is eligible for exemption.
Sir, in this, that business entity with an aggregate turnover of up to such amount in the preceding financial year. So this meaning I'm not getting that one.
I'll give you one single line which will cover all these entries. So government providing services exceeding rupees 5,000 to large business entities. And what is large? Large means entities liable for registration. Now in registration, you'll study that for different businesses, there are different limits given. So the moment you cross that limit, you are liable for registration. So the rule is where government is providing services exceeding this amount to large business entities, this is what is taxable. Other than this, like where the government is providing services below 5,000 or to small business entities, all are exempt, or to even non-business entities, all are exempt. So this one line covers all the exemption entries into one sentence.
Sir, this point is ninth one. I am asking to you seventh one, sir.
So beta, seventh one is cover here, beta. Ninth one is cover here. Third one is cover in this whole point. So that's why I'm saying this one sentence cover all the points. So when I'm saying this 5,000, this is 9. When I'm saying large, this is 0.7. Because in 7, small business entities are exempt. So I've told you large. What is large? Large is entities who are liable for registration. What is small? Small is such entities who are exempt from registration. Who are exempt from registration, beta, whose turnover is below the specified limits. And large entity is whose turnover exceeds the specified limit. So I'm saying I'm talking about 7 only. In fact, I have combined 7, 9, 3, all entries into one. So that now you have to only remember one sentence to cover all the entries. So what you did not understand, tell me.
Sir, this meaning I am not getting that amount preceding financial year.
बेटा मैंने अभी आपको बताया कि जब आप रजिस्ट्रेशन चैप्टर पढ़ोगे वहां पे एक लिमिट आएगा. फॉर एग्जांपल 20 लाख लिमिट है, कहीं पे आपको 40 लाख लिमिट है, जो कहता है कि अगर आपका पिछले साल का टर्नओवर इस अमाउंट से एक्सीड होता है या आपका जो करंट ईयर चालू है उसमें अगर ये अमाउंट आप एक्सीड करते हो तो आपको रजिस्ट्रेशन लेना पड़ेगा. दैट इज व्हाट इज द पॉइंट ऑफ रजिस्ट्रेशन. नाउ आपको रजिस्ट्रेशन से छूट कब मिलेगी, आपको कब रजिस्ट्रेशन नहीं लेना है, अगर आपका टर्नओवर इस अमाउंट के नीचे है.
ओके.
बराबर ना. तो वही तो यहाँ पे लिखा है, जिन बिजनेसेस का टर्नओवर इस अमाउंट के नीचे है, अगर गवर्नमेंट उनको सर्विस दे रहा है तो दैट इज एग्जम्प्ट.
ओके.
ठीक है ना.
ओके सर.
मैंने यहाँ पे आपको टैक्सेबल करके बता दिया.
ओके.
क्लियर.
यस सर.
यस हेमलता.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
गुड इवनिंग.
I have a doubt. I have a doubt in if any trust doing their activities for any publicity, making any publicity. So those activities or events are attracted to GST or not?
Who is doing the activity for publicity? Hemlata.
Yeah, can you hear me, sir?
Now I can hear you. Tell me.
Yeah, those trusts, though they are doing any activities or events. they are
Again, I'm missing
conducting.
the first word. Who are doing the activity?
Trust.
Okay, so trusts are doing what activity, beta?
Any activities, conducting functions, celebrations.
See, beta, this is very generic. See, again, a list is given in the very first entry as to what is charitable activities. In the definition, we saw charitable activities, like, right? Now,
Yes.
please understand, except those activities, whatever other activities the trust is doing, all those activities are liable to GST. Now, in that, if let us say you are saying function, if you can explain me what is a function, I can give you the answer directly whether it is taxable or exempt, because function is a very generic word.
Yeah.
So tell me, what is the function? And most important, what is the charges taken by the trust in that? That is important, because we want to
Any
exempt
admission tickets, like admission tickets, fees.
admission to kids is education, na beta.
Actually, in page number 5.11, there is an instance given. That's why
Tell
I'm asking, sir.
So then tell me, na, I'll open page 5.11. We will read that point
Yeah.
together, because see, how we are interpreting and what is written, that I need to check. 5.11. Yes, tell me.
Yeah, yes. So there is an
This one.
for instance, grant of, yes, sir.
So what it says, grant of advertising rights to a person for publicity on the premises of charitable trust or publication of trust, or granting admission to events, functions, celebration, shows against admission tickets would attract GST. Correct? Now there are 2 points.
Yes.
One is advertising rights, where this advertisement is done on the premises of the charitable trust or on the publication of the charitable trust. So I'll give you example. So there is a trust. the trust has a huge land property. Outside the land property, which is on the highway, because many times you see on the highway, on one side there is a huge property, we say it belongs to XYZ Trust, correct? Now, since it is on
Yeah.
highway, it has allowed you to put your holdings on that entire what you say, this wall of the trust. Now, this becomes for the businessman, it is a highway, so putting its advertisement or its name printed over there gives them publicity, and the trust is charging some amount for allowing you to put those holdings, those advertisements on its property walls, correct?
Okay.
Or
Okay.
let us say
Yes.
the
Yes.
trust is publishing some booklet which is relating to the trust activities. Let us say it is a religious trust, so it is a religious booklet covering stories about God or covering some rituals, etc. information. And on the backside of the trust book, you are publishing your advertisement. Obviously, trust is charging you, let us say 50 lakh rupees for allowing you to publish that advertisement. So all these are taxable services because it is not covered
Oh,
in the list. Similarly, let
yeah.
us say the
Okay.
trust is organizing some program, celebration, some shows. Like many times, what does a trust do for raising funds? It has, let us say, organize a magic show. Now I'm taking your example. So kids are going for that magic show and the ticket which is charged by the trust is 200. Second example, again for fundraising, it has kept a concert of A.R. Rahman and you all are going to that concert and the trust is charging some 1,000 rupees as the ticket. Now, all these are examples of where the trust is charging you some amount as admission.
Okay, sir.
Understood, beta?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you,
Is
sir.
your doubt resolved?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Perfect. Any further questions?
No. No, sir.
Okay, great. Yes, Virashri.
Sir, in page number 5.90, entry number 72, services provided to government, it is said that under any training program, if government bears 75% or more of the expenditure, it is exempt. So it is, so the remaining 25% is taxable, sir, in that case.
But in fact, entire amount is exempt. It is not saying only the government's contribution is exempt. See, what it is saying, it is saying services are provided to the government under a training program in which 75% or more of the expenditure is borne by the government. It is clarified that free coaching services provided by coaching institutions, NGOs under central scheme of scholarship for students with disability where 75% or more is borne by the government to coaching institute by way of grant, etc. is covered under this entry. So it is not only limited to the government's portion. The criteria is that in that fees, let us say 100 rupees is the fees, at least 75% should be borne by the government. So let us take it is 80-20. 80 is borne by the government, 20 is you are charging to the outsider. So whatever you are charging, including what you are charging to outsider, that will be exempt.
Okay, sir. So it is one of the criteria that needs to be fulfilled.
Yes, yes.
Okay, sir. Sir, I have another doubt.
Please.
In page number 5.61, passenger transportation services, it is said embarking from or terminating at RCS against consideration in the form of viability gap funding. So what is that viability gap funding, sir?
See, what is viability? Viability is feasibility. Like in smaller places, as I was explaining, it is RCS, that is Regional Connectivity Scheme, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, in that, what is the challenge? The challenge is those are very small airports where there are no regular flights because many people are not traveling, or even in the flights which are going, they are not going full. Now, because of this, it is not viable to run the flight on those routes. Are you getting the meaning of viable? Right? Viable means it is not profitable. So there is some gap. Gap means there is, let us say, some loss. So this loss, when it is uh, when it is RCS, then whatever is this gap is being what you say filled in by the government. So government provides some consideration in the form of that gap funding. So it is like loss funding. So whatever is the shortfall, the government is going to provide.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So
Got
that
it.
is what is kept exempt. So when government will pay you for this, there will be no GST on that amount because the government is doing this so that these smaller airports get are functional, are at least profitable, And since the government wants to promote the smaller airports, whatever is the loss coming on those airports, the government takes
Government.
care of, which is called as gap funding.
Okay, sir. Okay. Got it. Thank you,
Fine?
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Any further questions, Beda?
No, sir.
Okay. Yes, Purav.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Beda.
सर आई वांटेड टू आस्क जैसे नोटिफिकेशन वगैरह जो मतलब इसमें काफी सारे अमेंडमेंट्स वाले चेंजेस भी है तो हमें वो पढ़ने हैं जो कट ऑफ डेट तक के वो पढ़ने हैं इसमें
पढ़ने ना बेटा, अभी
एग्जेम्पशन
आज हम करेंगे ना, मैंने आपको लास्ट लेक्चर में बताया था कि वी आर गोइंग टू डू स्टैट्यूटरी अपडेट्स टुडे एट द
ओके
एंड.
सर
विल स्टडी दैट बेटा.
सो सर मतलब फॉर प्रिपरेशन ऑफ एग्जाम जो बुक में दी है जैसे मेरे पास एडिशन जुलाई की एडिशन है मेरे पास 2025 की तो मेरे को
तो बेटा आपको तो
मैं
उसके
फिर वो
आगे के बहुत सारे सारे स्टैट्यूटरी, उससे अच्छा एक काम करो ना, आप ये डाउनलोड कर लो ना लेटेस्ट मॉड्यूल. फिर इसके बाद आपको केवल में 26 के अपडेट्स करने बाकी रहेंगे.
ओके सर
Yes, but it
ओके
is
थैंक
always, see, as a CA student, you should be having the mindset of referring new modules because they
सो
will keep on coming.
सर जैसे मेरे पास पुराना एडिशन है तो मैं इसमें ऐसा भी कर सकता हूँ कि जैसे जो जुलाई 25 के बाद से अभी तक की अमेंडमेंट्स है उनको एक बार देख के फिल्टर आउट कर लूँ कि कौन सी एग्जैक्टली वो है इसमें.
आपको उसके लिए कुछ नहीं करना है, आपको अपने BOS पोर्टल पे जाना है. ऑन BOS पोर्टल वी हैव मेड अ सेपरेट सेक्शन विच इंक्लूड्स ऑल दीज अपडेट्स. यू हैव टू जस्ट चेक कि आपके मॉड्यूल के प्रिंटिंग के बाद कौन कौन से अपडेट्स हैं. मे बी देयर वुड बी 3 or 4 बिकॉज वी जनरली प्रोवाइड अपडेट्स एग्जाम वाइज. सो
यस
आपके
सर
मॉड्यूल के प्रिंटिंग के बाद आपके मॉड्यूल में लिखा रहेगा आपका मॉड्यूल कहाँ तक का अपडेटेड है. उसके बाद
यस
के
सर
आपको सारे अपडेट्स डाउनलोड करने हैं and you can mark it in your book. But my personal suggestion is don't do that at least for subject like GST. Reason
यस
is
सर
GST में बहुत सारे छोटे बड़े amendments होते हैं and it will be difficult to keep a track of everything. So
यस सर
instead आप ये latest module डाउनलोड करके, अगर आपको फिजिकल मॉड्यूल में से पढ़ने की आदत है तो आप एक बार इसका प्रिंट मार लो,
यस सर
एटलीस्ट
ओके
ऑफ दी
सर थैंक
स्टार्टिंग 6 चैप्टर्स. क्योंकि बाकी आगे जो प्रोसीजरल चैप्टर्स है उसमें होंगे मगर बहुत कम होंगे. पर जैसे ये एग्जाम्शन है इसमें बहुत सारे हैं. So it is not feasible to go and write all these amendments. It is, मतलब क्या है, आपका कोई भी छूट गया, आपका एक भी
यस
मिस आउट हो गया तो unnecessary it will be a problem for your exams. So don't do that.
ओके सर
At least for GST chapter, don't do it.
ओके सर थैंक यू.
Yeah. Yes, Sridhar. Sridhar, tell me.
Sir, in chapter,
based on
आपको
sir,
शायद एक बार
telecom,
एक बार माइक
पहले आप बोल
पहले
रहे हो
आप बोल दो आपको क्या
sir, telecom सर्विस में सर है वो.
हाँ मुझे
अब
मालूम
मुझे
है.
मालूम है
एक बार अभी से
पर
माइक
अब
बंद
इससे
कर
माइक
दो कि
बंद
मैं
कर
जो
दो
भी
कि
बोल
मैं
रहा हूँ
जो भी
रिपीट
बोल
हो
रहा
रहा
हूँ
है.
रिपीट हो रहा है.
Yes. So see, the place of supply for telecom services, Sridhar, is simple. If your mobile is postpaid, then already your address is with the company. So it is your billing address which is the place of supply. If your mobile is prepaid, in that, if you are doing recharge online, again, it is your address which is with the company. If you are doing recharge by going to a shop, then it is the shop from where the recharge is done. This is what is given in the time of supply for telecom services. Is this clear, beta?
Okay, sir, clear, sir.
Great. Let us proceed. Aditya.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening, beta.
Sir, in page number 5.89, services provided to government. In 40, services provided to the central government, state government, union territory under any insurance scheme. Sir,
Which
insurance
one? Which
scheme,
one? Which one? Which one?
40, sir, 40. 40.
40. Huh.
Sir, it shows which is exempt. Every insurance is exempt, sir, or health insurance or some general insurance is also covered, sir.
All insurances, but here all insurances are covered where it is given to government or union territory.
Every
Where,
insurance, sir.
sorry?
Under any insurance, sir.
Yes,
It
yes,
is
under
exempt.
all insurance, whether life, whether health, whether medical, all are covered.
That are also exempt, sir. Taxable, sir.
Exempt, beta, exempt. So whatever
Okay,
are
sir.
the insurances for which premium is paid by government.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So
Okay, thank you, sir.
in this entry, all insurances where premium is paid by government is what is exempt, right?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yes. Any other? So students, if there are no more doubts, let us proceed. So we were here in the previous lecture, so we completed up to this entry. So now another entry that we are taking up is the leasing entry. Now Mehak is asking, sir, how to memorize all entry concept for write in exam as case study. See, but I understand it is difficult to memorize all the entries. So it is recommended that you first read out this chapter twice or thrice so that at least you get familiar with most of the entries. Second, the best part is you have multiple examples given under every entry. Plus, you have past exam questions, MTPs, RTPs. You have to just do one thing. You have to take every exam papers, MTPs, RTPs, everything, whatever you have, and start solving it. Because this chapter is so vast and has so varied entries. It is entertaining to read, but it is equally challenging to remember them. For that, the technique is first reading out these entries twice or thrice, and then taking up the questions that you have got in all these exam papers or MTPs, RTPs, so that when you're repeating those questions, first thing is you will understand that 90% exam papers are covering, or 90% of all this past exam material is covering only 20-25 entries. So automatically your burden of remembering all the entries is reduced because now only those entries are getting repeated and revised. Secondly, when you do it with a practical case study like a proper example, remembering them and even at times understanding them becomes more easier. So this is how I also used to prepare this topic because it is otherwise very difficult to keep in mind so many entries. Students, am I audible? Because I suppose there is some lag. Like even my screen share, I cannot see. One second, I'll re-log in. There is some issue, I suppose. Students, is it clear now? I am finding some challenge here. It is getting stuck up. Okay. So then I need not restart. I can again share the screen. Yes. Okay. Now what is the next exemption entry? Now the next exemption entry is for long-term leases. Now what is the period of long-term lease? The long-term lease period is 30 years or more. So when you are taking the lease, which is for a period exceeding which is for a period exceeding 30 years. That is what is called as long-term lease. Now, whenever you take any land or any property on long-term lease, generally you have to give upfront a lump sum amount, which is non-refundable. This lump sum amount is called as lease premium or even salami. Some people call it as cost, price, etc. So the point is, whatever you pay to get a property on lease, now the first condition, it should be a long-term lease, means the period of the lease should be 30 years or more. Second, this lease should be of which property? Of industrial plots or plots which are for development of infrastructure for financial businesses. So best example is in everybody's city, you have an industrial zone, which is run by the Industrial Development Corporation. So like in Maharashtra, it is run by MIDC. Now, when you are taking a plot in MIDC, or in your case, if you are in Gujarat, it is GIDC, in Rajasthan, it is RICO. So these are the organizations who are the industrial development corporations, which are set up by the state governments. And it may be any other entity where 20% or more ownership is of the government. So generally, as I gave you names, MIDC, GIDC, RICO, these are all different types of industrial development corporations of different states. Now, when you take a plot in the industrial zone, it is given to you on 99-year lease. So for this lease, whatever is the upfront amount, the lump sum amount, that upfront amount is eligible for exemption. Whether it is paid in one stroke or it is paid in lump sum makes no difference. Even if you pay in installment, it is eligible for exemption. So it may be paid in installment, it may be paid lump sum upfront, everything is exempt. Similarly, if you are paying some extra amount for what? For some preferential location. So many times to get a road front plot or a corner plot, you pay extra amount called as preferential location charges. This is in addition to the lease premium. Then this additional amount is also eligible for this exemption. So basically, where it is for some industrial plot or industrial land, this exemption will be available if the plot is for more than 30 years. Just a minute. Okay, so I hope student this entry is clear. So it is about giving industrial plots on a lease of 30 or more years. So whatever is the upfront lease premium, that is what is exempt. Now here some conditions are given which you may not even learn, that is fine, right? Any questions, students?
हेलो सर।
बोलो बेटा।
हाँ सर, जो अभी आपने 41 नंबर की एंट्री बोली, इसमें जैसे बोले कि वो 30 इयर्स का होना चाहिए और मोर 10 ईयर ऑफ लीजिंग। सर इसके नीचे होगा, बट अंडर दिस सेम जैसे एमआईडीसी फॉर दैट इन
टैक्सेबल,
दैट,
टैक्सेबल,
तो फिर भी एग्जम्प्टेड होगा क्या?
टैक्सेबल।
ओके सर, अगर इसमें भी होगा मतलब इसी सेम कैटेगरी में, फॉर
उससे
एग्जांपल
कोई फर्क
एमआईडीसी।
नहीं पड़ता बेटा, सारे कंडीशन सेटिस्फाइड होंगे तो ही एग्जाम्प्ट होगा वो।
ओके सर, ओके, थैंक यू सर।
यस निशा।
So what is this point given that 20% or more ownership of government that
तो
is
बेटा या
given?
तो वो गवर्नमेंट ने स्टार्ट किया हुआ, गवर्नमेंट का खुद का इंडस्ट्रियल डेवलपमेंट कॉर्पोरेशन है, या अगर वो कोई प्राइवेट एंटिटी है, कोई ट्रस्ट है या ऐसा कुछ एंटिटी है, तो उसमें कम से कम 20% ओनरशिप गवर्नमेंट का है।
So जैसे सर हम जैसे 30 इयर्स तो देखेंगे, 30 इयर्स से ज्यादा होना चाहिए हमारा लॉन्ग टर्म लीज, तो वो एग्जाम्प्ट है। लेकिन इसका मतलब सर ये चीज का क्या रूल है, समझ नहीं आया
बेटा आपको लीज दिया किसने? इन्होंने
सर।
देना चाहिए तो एग्जाम्प्ट है। किसने? गवर्नमेंट ने। या अगर वो नॉन गवर्नमेंट बॉडी है तो उसमें कम से कम 20% स्टेक गवर्नमेंट का होना चाहिए। जब ये आपको लीज पे देंगे और वो लीज 30 साल के ऊपर का होगा तो वो एग्जाम्प्ट होगा। इज दिस क्लियर बेटा?
ओके ओके,
ठीक है।
यस। और सर हम मतलब अमाउंट जो इंटरेस्ट है उसको या पार्टली पेमेंट करें या फुल्ली पेमेंट करें तो भी एग्जाम्प्ट है?
हाँ, जो भी आपका लीज प्रीमियम रहता है, क्योंकि वो बहुत बड़ा अमाउंट आता है, काफी बार वो करोड़ों में जाता है, तो लोग वो 2-3 साल के पीरियड में धीरे धीरे करके पे करते हैं। तो उससे गवर्नमेंट को कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। आप एक साथ पे करोगे तो भी एग्जाम्प्ट है, आप इंस्टॉलमेंट में पे करोगे तो भी एग्जाम्प्ट है।
ओके।
ठीक है। एनी फर्दर क्वेश्चंस? ओके, now we come to an important service, students, that is services of lawyer. Now before services of lawyer, firstly there is services of tribunals. So when you are going to a tribunal, now why do you go to a tribunal? If you have any appeal and the appellate authority is a tribunal, we call it as the arbitral tribunal, where you go for arbitration. So you have some dispute, and for resolution of the dispute you go to a tribunal. Yes, Meenu Kumari, right. So for dispute resolution, when you go to a tribunal, there is a fees which is charged by the tribunal for taking your appeal, taking your dispute. This fees will be exempt if you are other than a business entity. So if individual or HUF is going to tribunal for their dispute, or if you are a business entity, then your turnover is below the registration limit. Or third, who is going to the tribunal? The government is going to the tribunal. So in short, if I have to put it in different words, only where fees is charged to large business entity, this is only taxable. So if it is charged to individual HF who is non-business entity, it is exempt. If it is charged to small business entity whose turnover is below the registration limit, still it is exempt. If it is charged to government, it is exempt. So what is taxable is only where the tribunal charges fees to large business entity. Again, who is large? Whose turnover has exceeded that amount which is required for registration. That is what is large business entity. Fine. Now coming to lawyers. Now both these entries are dealing with lawyers. The difference is this covers senior lawyer, this covers other than a senior lawyer, means any lawyer, like all the junior lawyers who have newly started their practice, and now lawyers up to 10-15 years of practice, still they are given the designation of senior advocate. So this is senior lawyer, this is other than senior lawyer. Now, when lawyer is giving their legal service to other lawyers, it is exempt. To individual HUF who is not a business entity, it is exempt. To a small business entity who is exempted from registration, it is exempt. Or to government, it is exempt. So same, what is taxable is this same point, where the lawyer is charging fees. Fees to whom? To large business entity. This is taxable. If it is charging to non-business entity like individual HF, it is exempt. If it is charging to business entity who are small because they are exempted from registration because their turnover is not crossing the registration limit, still it is exempt. If it is charging to government, like government is appointing the lawyer, so fees is charged by the lawyer to the government, it is exempt. And also when one lawyer charges to another, that is also exempt. Right, students? Clear? Any queries, questions? Good. Now coming to senior advocate. Now in case of senior advocate also, the same points are repeated. So you will see these 3 points are repeated here. So where a senior advocate is charging fees to individual HUF who is not a business entity, it is exempt. Or if it is charging to a business entity, but a small business entity who is exempted from registration, that is also exempt. Or where the senior advocate is appointed or hired by government and the fees is charged to government, that is also exempt. Now, what is taxable? Where senior advocate charges fees to, one is large business entity or to other lawyers. This is what is special in case of senior. So where senior is charging fees to other lawyers also, that is taxable. Whereas if you are not a senior advocate and you are charging fees to other lawyers, it is exempt. So non-senior advocate charging fees to other advocates, it is exempt. But senior advocate charging fees to other advocates is taxable. That is the difference between the services of senior advocate and non-senior advocate. Vedant is asking, sir, if one advocate provides service to another who is registered as under the Act, then also, yes, here it is immaterial whether the other advocate is registered or unregistered. It is about, for advocate, there is no condition of registered or unregistered, right? See, Akila, beta, wherever the company is paying rent, now we are going to study that renting entry also very soon. So where company is paying rent, it is liable to GST. That entry will come very soon, right? But it is liable to GST. So students, is the lawyer service clear to everyone? Right? Now here, some definitions are given. Now the definitions are, firstly, which services are exempt? Only legal service. Now what are legal services? These are services provided in relation to advice, consultancy, assistance in any branch of law. Right? So services provided in relation to any branch of law. Now, any branch of law means you have different laws, like right now also we are studying a law which is taxation law. Then you have company law, you have partnership law, you have general laws, you have criminal laws. So in any branch of law where services are provided, that is called as legal service. Who is an advocate? Advocate means a person who is entered in any role of the advocate. So like how we become member and get membership, similarly advocates are the one who are registered as per their respective acts. Who is arbitral tribunal? These are arbitrators or panel of arbitrators appointed under the Arbitration and Conciliation Act. Now, interestingly, who is senior? Now, here there is an interesting difference. In our profession and in lawyers, in our profession, where you are practicing for more than 5 years, you can apply to be called as fellow chartered accountant. Fellow is something like senior CA. So in our profession, becoming a senior CA or getting the designation of senior CA, which is fellow, is automatic. However, yes, now senior advocate is what? In case of lawyers, the senior advocate is not automatic or only after some minimum years of practice. It is an advocate who is designated as senior advocate either by the Supreme Court or by the High Court if the court feels that on the basis of their standing in the courts or on the basis of their special knowledge or experience, they deserve this special distinction. So, in short, senior advocate is decided by the courts. Correct? Yes, Minu Kumari, you are right. So, junior advocates charging to any other advocates is exempt, but senior advocate charging to any advocates is taxable. Yes, John.
Sir, a small clarification, sir, that here exemption means that those lawyers are not eligible to collect tax from the clients or they were not able to pay, they should not pay to the government, sir.
So, beta, first thing is they should not pay. Now, the moment they should not pay, automatically they should not collect.
Yes, sir.
So, here exemption means exemption from paying to the government, not exemption from collecting. But once you are not required to pay, then logically you cannot even collect.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Fine?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Now coming to exemption of sponsorship services. Now IPL is going to start. Now we see like last year it was start IPL. So what is sponsorship? So sponsorship is whenever any event or any program, a beauty competition or any movie, not movie, but all these like Kapil Sharma show and all these programs, they are sponsored by some business entities. Now, what is sponsoring? Sponsoring is means giving your name. So whenever the name of that event or that show is taken, your name is also taken along with that. Right? So that is what is sponsoring. Now, all these sponsorship activities are taxable. However, when the sponsor is of a sporting event and sporting event is organized by whom? It should be organized by National Federation or Association of Universities or by Central Civil Services or as part of National Games or Indian Olympic or under the Panchayat Yuva Krida Khel Abhiyan. So under any of these categories, if the sporting event is organized, in that particular case, the sponsorship done to that sporting event is exempt. Other than this, if it is any other sporting event, it will be taxable. Now, skill development. Now we all know government is focusing a lot on the skill development of our youth. So for this purpose, the government has set up various entities. Now, whatever services are done by these entities are exempt. What are these entities? National Skill Development Corporation, National Council for Vocational Education, then awarding body, which is recognized by the National Council, then assessment agency, again recognized by the National Council, and training body accredited with the awarding body. So these are the various entities or organizations who are working under the skill development scheme of the government, and that is where it is given the exemption. Fine. Now, in this, there was an amendment recently that where any training partner who is approved by the National Skill Development Corporation is also charging any fees, that fees is also exempt. So even these bodies or their trade partners, everybody's services are exempt under GST. Now, services given by assessing bodies. Now, as you can understand, what is the meaning of assessment? Assessment is like testing, checking, etc. So these are empaneled centrally by whom? By the Directorate General of Training, Ministry of Skill Development. So under the skill development, whoever are appointed as the assessing bodies to take tests, to take exams, their fees, their services of conducting exams is exempt. Next, services provided by training providers under the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Kaushalya Yojana, again, which is implemented under the Ministry of Rural Development. And what they are doing is they are offering skill or vocational training courses certified by the National Council for Vocational Education. So, these training services which are provided under this ministry, and they are relating to skill or vocational training courses. So when training is provided relating to offering skill or vocational training or running vocational training courses under this particular scheme, what is the name of the scheme? Deen Dayal Upadhyay Kaushalya Yojana. So these fees for training or skill development is exempt. Now coming to another important entry. So today, whatever we studied in that, the first important entry was lawyer. The second important entry is by an artist. Now, when an artist is performing, so let us say there is a stage show. So whoever artist is performing, they charge some fees. Now, the fees charged by the artist in what field? By way of performance in folk or classical art form. So what they should be performing should be a folk art form or a classical art form. And what type of performance they are giving? Either they are only playing music like tabla, sitar, veena, or they are performing dance forms like Bharatnatyam, Kathakali, Kuchipudi, or they are running some performances of theater whereby they are playing some skit or drama like Ram Leela, etc. All these artists, whatever remuneration they will get for doing the performance, most important, it should be in a folk form or a classical art form, and it should be a musical or a dance or a theatrical performance. Then whatever fees they get, if their fees is up to 1,50,000, it is exempt. However, if they are charging more than 1,50,000, then the entire amount is taxable. So it is not that if you are charging 4 lakhs, out of that 150 will still be exempt and you have to pay tax only on 250. No. So if you are charging 1,45,000, 1,25,000, it is exempt. But the moment you charge 1,75,000, 2,25,000, 2,50,000, entire amount is exempt. Right? Further, what is clarified? other performances which are not in classical form, but they are in Western forms. Nowadays, we have all these cold wave and all these performances, but these are all Western performances. It may be a musical performance, it may be dance, theater, whatever, or even performances done by these artists in films or television serials. All of these are taxable. So even let us say some folk artists are performing in a movie or in a web series, their fees are taxable. Further, you have still art forms. So one is the motion in which you do dance, etc., which is motion, and then still you have painting, sculpturing. So in order to be exempt, firstly, the amount should not exceed 1,50,000. Second, you should be performing in independent capacity and not as a brand ambassador. Now, who is a brand ambassador? So we all know majority it is cricketers or these films brand ambassador. Yes, Meenu Kumari. So performing as a brand ambassador will be taxable even if the amount is 1 lakh, 1,25,000. That is even though it is not exceeding 150. But if you are performing as a brand ambassador, it will be fully taxable. Okay. Yes, Sridhar. So generally famous persons are celebrities are brand ambassadors. Now going to another entry which is again important for your exams, that is admission. Admission to what? Now admission to, firstly, you go to museums. So there is some entry ticket. Or you go to some national park or wildlife sanctuary, tiger reserve, zoo. All these places have some entry tickets. These entry tickets will be exempt. Now, how they have explained zoo? Zoo means an establishment where stationary or mobile, where captive animals are kept for exhibition to public and includes a circus. So interestingly, this term zoo, they are including circus also. So admission to circuses will also be covered in this entry. So you go to various types of museums, like you go to coin museum, or you go to stone museums, or there are different types of museums where different things are displayed. You go to some historical museum where some Raja's belongings are displayed. So all these museums, entry fee, national park entry fee, zoo, wildlife entry fee, all are exempt. Then comes services by way of admission to protected monuments. Now we have some monuments which are covered in the category of protected, like Taj Mahal, because it is getting eroded or it is getting destroyed because of the climate and all the pollution, etc. So certain monuments are covered in this particular act, Ancient Monuments and Archaeological Sites and Remains Act, and they are treated as protected monuments. So services by way of charging admission fees. So when admission fees are charged for entering into these monuments, these fees are exempt. Now, services by way of right of admission too. Now here again where you are entering, you are entering to a circus or a dance or a theatrical performance, which includes drama or ballet, or you are going for an admission function or a beauty contest, a pageant, or you are going to some musical performances like of A.R. Rahman, or you are going to some sporting event like IPL, other than recognized sporting events. Then if you are going to sporting events or you are going to planetarium, in all these cases, the admission to all these places again has some ticket. If the ticket is up to rupees 500, it is exempt. So ticket not exceeding 500 is exempt. The moment it exceeds 500, entire ticket is taxable. So for entry to all these places, again exemption is there, but the exemption is subject to a monetary limit. So beta Satish, it is the fees for admission only. Na? Admission means like you pay some entry charges, you buy that entry ticket. We also call it as entry ticket only. So that is what is covered here, and that is what is eligible for exemption. Again, an important exam entry. Now, what is this entry? Now, the place where you are staying is many times called as a housing society. So we say that we are staying in a housing society. Now, as a member of the housing society, you have to pay some maintenance charges. So this maintenance charges, if it is up to rupees 7,500 per month, then it is exempt. If it exceeds 7,500, it will be taxable. So this entry is for whom? This entry is for unincorporated body or not for profit bodies who are charging to their own members. And what is this charge for? This charge is for reimbursement of all expenses. So like there are some common charges for security, common charges for electricity, common charges for cleaning, common charges of motor, etc., water charges, all these charges which the housing society is bearing on behalf of all its members. What it does, it divides those charges and it takes these charges reimbursement. So the reimbursement of these charges is what is covered in this exemption entry. Now, further to this, besides the housing society, the charges which are taken by the trade union from their members or for providing or carrying out any activity which is exempt from levy of tax. So where the society or the body is carrying out any activity which is exempt under GST, and for that activity it is collecting some charges from the members. So all this is exempt. You have to mainly remember this C part. So your housing society charging you maintenance, and the maintenance per month is not exceeding 7,500. That maintenance is exempt. Right, students? Then comes services provided by again unincorporated body or NPO, and it is engaged in what type of activities? First, welfare of industrial or agricultural workers or promotion of trade commerce industry. Again, when they are charging to their own members, now generally this is like the membership fees. So when they are charging to their own members for the membership fee, if the membership is up to 1,000 per year, then it is exempt. If their membership exceeds 1,000 per year, it is fully taxable. So this is that RWA. So it is also called as RWA. So what we call as housing society in the law, they are calling it as RWA, Resident Welfare Association. So keep this word in mind. So either it is housing society or it is Resident Welfare Association. So where it is exceeding 7,500, only there it is taxable. If it is below 7,500, it is exempt. Next service. Service by way of transfer of a going concern. Now what it is, let us understand. Now, what is transfer of going concern? Now, this we have been studying in accounts. So you are running a business. Your business is still running. It is not closed down. Now, when you sell this running business, we call it as transfer of a going concern. So when your running business is being sold to some other person, so till today, let us say you are running a hotel. Till today, you are the owner. Now you sell the entire business in the existing form, that is in the form of a going concern. It is still in the running state. It is still being worked upon. So such example comes over here. So when you are transferring your business as a going concern, the lump sum amount that you charge for the entire business, that is what is exempt over here. So the transfer of business for a lump sum amount, which is commonly also called as slump sale. So these are all accounting terms. So transfer of going concern, transfer by way of slump sale. So where you are running, where you are selling your running business, that is what is fully exempt. Now coming to a very, very important entry. What is this entry dealing with? Now, many of you may be staying in a rented house. Now, this rented house is called as a residential dwelling. So the place where you stay, that is your house, is called as a residential dwelling. Now, when the flat, the bungalow is given on rent, and it is given on rent to a person other than a registered person. In short, where it is given on rent to an unregistered person. Again, for what purpose? For use as residence. Now, many times you'll find that in flat, we are running our offices also. So there are some commercial use of flats. That is not exempt. Where your place is a residential dwelling, so it means it is a flat bungalow which is used for staying, and it is given on rent for staying only. So the place is also a residential dwelling, and it is given for residence only, not for commercial use. Then it is going to be exempt. Further, most important requirement, it should be given to an unregistered person. Now, somebody was asking me some time back, where I said that we are going to cover this entry later, that if, let us say, you are a company, you are a bank, many times they take some flats, some bungalows on rent to be given, like bank gives to its manager, company gives to its some important employee or directors. So when a company or a bank is taking any of these residential places on rent, whatever rent they are paying, it is not exempt over here. Why? Because these banks, these companies are registered persons. So here, where the recipient of the service is a registered person, it will be taxable. Where the registered person, where the recipient of the service is like you and me, who is not registered, it will be exempt. Right? Clear? Understood? Now there are two important points to be noted. First, for the purpose of exemption under this entry, the entry shall cover services by way of renting of residential dwelling to a registered person, where now they are saying even giving it on rent to registered person will be exempt, where the registered person is a proprietor or a proprietary concern and has taken this residential place in his personal capacity for his own use. So what it means, today, let us say I'm working as a proprietor. Now my GST number will be in obviously my name, but when I'm taking the place for residence for myself, my family, it will be exempt because I'm not taking it for my business purpose. So the simple point is, where you are taking the place for your business purpose. How business purpose? Like bank is taking the place for business purpose because it has to give to its manager. A company is taking it on rent because it has to give to its directors or main employees. So all this is for business purpose, then the renting is taxable. But where a registered person like a proprietor is taking the place for his own use, for the residence of his family, it is not taxable, it will be exempt. So the condition is he should be doing it for his own purpose, not as a business expense. Second important point, this entry is not going to cover what it is not going to cover: student residences like hostels, camp, etc. Why it is not going to cover? It means these are not exempt. No, they are exempt, but they have a separate exemption entry below. But in this exemption entry, they are not going to cover student hostels. So whether students hostels are exempt, so you all are paying hostel charges, whoever is staying in a hostel, is it exempt? Answer is yes, but not under this entry. That is what is explanation 2, that this entry will only cover residences where people are staying in the daily course of their life. If somebody is a student, or if somebody is a working person and staying in a hostel for the purpose of their studies or for the purpose of their employment, they are covered, but they are covered in a separate entry below. So what is further clarified here? So thus renting of residential place given to a registered person or an unregistered person for use as a residence to unregistered person is exempt, right? So most important point is the use should also be residence, not only the property, the use should also be residence. Then secondly, renting of residential for use as a residence given to a registered person but not a proprietor. That is, in short, the person is going to use it for a commercial purpose, that will be taxable. Correct? And one more point which we covered in the reverse charge point. So what is taxable over here? When I am giving the property on rent to a registered person, this will be taxable. This is taxable under reverse charge. That is what is another important point, that this place given to a registered person will be taxable under reverse charge. Is this fine? Students, now let us take a break here because the next point is again very important. We'll cover this point after our break. So let us take a 15 minutes break. Fine. Okay, students, let us resume. Any queries up to this point? Yes, beta. Yes, beta.
So that is in entry number 12. I did not understand second point.
What is that point? Tell me.
That such renting is on his own account and not that of
बेटा
the
जब आप खुद के
proprietorship.
रहने के लिए ले रहे हो, आप आपके बिजनेस के लिए नहीं ले रहे हो, खुद के लिए ले रहे हो, तो दैट इज व्हाट इज एग्जम्प्ट. एक
So
होता है
sir,
बिजनेस
first
के लिए.
entry was also like this only. Ki we
कैसे?
are live. Sir, for his personal capacity for use as his own residence.
हाँ, मीन्स व्हाट. कल अगर ये प्रोपराइटर ने भी अपने इधर किसी एम्प्लॉय के लिए अगर वो फ्लैट लिया, देन इट विल बी टैक्सेबल. इसलिए उसने दोनों पॉइंट्स बोले कि पहला उसने खुद के रेसिडेंस के लिए लेना चाहिए, दूसरा उसने इसे अपने प्रोपराइटरी फर्म में किसी भी बिजनेस में नहीं लेना चाहिए. समझा आपको? निशा. यस हर्षद.
सर 20 नंबर का जो था परफॉर्मेंस बाय एन आर्टिस्ट,
बोलो.
उसमें अगर समझो अगर रिसिपेंट एंड सप्लायर बोथ आर इंडियंस एंड सर्विसिंग टू द आउटसाइड ऑफ इंडिया एज अ कॉन्सर्ट and are artists of India. So then it is will be taxable if the amount is cross 150.
करेक्ट.
Thank you, sir.
यस निशा.
Sir, I want to say that these in both the entries, this is only the difference that first entry for his own residence use and second entry for his for giving means purchasing our own means अपने ऊपर लेके फिर रेंट पर देना है, ये चीज है सर सेकेंड एंट्री में.
नहीं बेटा, आप अगर अपने किसी एम्प्लॉय के रहने के लिए अगर आपने फ्लैट लिया है तो वो सेकंड पॉइंट में आ रहा है, जो बोलता है कि फिर वो टैक्सेबल हो जाएगा. आपको वो केवल अपने यूज के लिए लेना है, आपको अपने बिजनेस के यूज के लिए नहीं लेना है. दैट इज व्हाट इज द पॉइंट. आप दोनों को एक ही ऐसा मान के चलो, इट विल बी सिंपल, राइट?
ओके सर.
Okay. Minu says residence given either by registered or unregistered to unregistered person exempt. Correct. Registered or unregistered person given to registered person, then taxable under RCM. Perfect, Minu. You are right. Perfect. So who is giving maybe registered, unregistered, that is not a problem, or that is not the requirement. But the recipient, if it is registered, then only it is taxable. And secondly, it is taxable under RCM. So here giver may be registered, giver may be unregistered. Makes no difference. You're right, me. Now, in the above entry, they have excluded from exemption hostels. Why they excluded? Because for that you have now this new entry. Again, this is very, very, very important. So see, today many of these smaller entries are very important. Now what it says, where you are providing accommodation service, where the value is not exceeding 20,000 per person per month, and it is provided for a minimum period of 90 days. This is where hostels come in. So supply of accommodation service, and the accommodation service should be given for continuous 90 days, like how it happens in hostel. You generally take a hostel for a year or 2-3 years. So where the period of accommodation is minimum 90 days, and most important, the per month charges do not exceed 20,000 rupees. In such cases, the service of providing hostels to either students or to working professionals will be exempt. So any type of hostel where you are going on a regular stay of minimum 90 days and the per month charges do not exceed 20,000 will be covered under 12A. Is this fine? Then comes 19C. Now we all know today India has become a pioneer in providing this service. So not only ISRO, we have even private organizations in India who are working towards satellite launch service. So we are providing this service to anybody who wants to have their satellite in the space. Nowadays, many businesses are having their satellite in the space for their business purposes, and we are helping them launch this satellite. So our charges that we charge them so that we launch their satellite will be fully exempt. Now then comes an interesting entry. Now till now we were talking about GTA giving service of transportation, right? Now we are talking about GTA receiving a service. Now what service GTA is giving? It is of transportation. Now what is the service the GTA is receiving? It is receiving the service of hiring of motor vehicle. So this entry, which we are presently studying, is exempting this service. For this, we already studied in our previous class. Now, let us say I am a GTA. I am operating various trucks. I am operating various buses. So either I am doing goods transport, so I am a GTA, or I am doing a passenger transport. Now, for me, whatever trucks or buses I need, it is not necessary that I'll purchase them. Many times it is a possibility I will take these buses on rent. So I am a passenger transport or I am a goods transport, right? So when I take motor vehicles on rent, and these are buses, how you know? These are designed to carry more than 12 passengers. So like buses, they are designed to carry more than 12 passengers. So when I take such buses on rent, then the rent which I am going to pay is covered under this exemption entry. Second, it is saying it may be given to a local authority what? Electric operated vehicle. So even electric vehicles, nowadays, as you will see in many states, the state governments are taking electric vehicles because they are running electric buses. So again, where electric vehicles are taken, they are also covered. Again, the condition is they should be for more than 12 passengers. So GTA taking on higher trucks or what do you say? A passenger transporter taking services on hire of buses. Third, who is covered is where motor vehicle is taken on hire for transport of students, faculty, staff to a person providing service of transportation of students. So now what I'm doing is I'm doing transportation of students. For this, I am taking some buses on hire. So again, whatever a service I'm giving is passenger transport. The only difference it is transport of students or faculty or staff, means it is for school, colleges. That is what is exempt. Next exemption is whenever we use some national highways or whenever we use some express highways or express roads, we have to pay toll charges. These toll charges have been made fully exempt. So whether these are charged by government or these are charged by private makes no difference. Wherever you are paying toll charges, these toll charges are fully exempt. Then services provided by electricity distribution or transmission utilities. So we have all these electric supply companies. These are providing us services of transmission or distribution of electricity. So we call them as DISCOMs, distribution companies. So when these companies are providing us services, they are exempt. Now, what else is not covered, that is what else is liable to GST. This you should keep in mind. So many times you have to make some application for which they are asking you to pay application fees. This may be relating to getting a new connection or relating to transfer of collections. Second, whatever rental charges they are charging on your meters, that is taxable. If your meter is not working well and you ask their engineer to come to do testing, the testing fees is taxable. When you want to shift meters, they charge you some labor charges for shifting the meters or even shifting their poles and service lines. And many times you ask for duplicate bills. All these are liable to GST. Other than these, the services which are provided by these DISCOM are what are exempt. Right? Pawan Bida, turnover clause in RWA is simply again the same point. See, for registration, you have to cross a turnover limit. So once the RWA crosses the turnover limit, it is liable for registration. Now, if in a building, let us say there are different flats of different sizes, some flats fees cross 7,500, so they are liable to GST. Some flats is below 7,500, they are not liable to GST. So the monthly maintenance of certain flats, which are big flats or penthouses, is let us say 10,000. And RWA's total turnover has crossed the 20,000 limit. Now the RWA will have to take registration and start paying tax on those flats maintenance charges, which is exceeded 7,500, but will still not pay any GST on those flat charges which are below 7,500 because this exemption is for them. If the turnover of RWA is below 20 lakhs anyways, whether it is charging above 7,500 or below 7,500, since it is not liable for registration, it will not be required to pay any GST. Pawan, I hope your doubt is clear. Anil is asking private companies have not yet started. As far as I know, Anil, private companies have started. Sridhar Beda, now there is no board. So MSCB was earlier. Now it is all companies. So what was MSCB has become MSEDCL. Correct. So, but you are right. It is, we are talking about MSCB companies, MSCB only, but now in the company format. Next, supply of service by providing metering equipment on rent. Now this is supplied by whom? Again, by these electricity transmission or distribution companies to their customers. So what they are giving on rent, either the meters, or they are giving the service of testing of meters or transformers, capacitors, releasing electricity connections, shifting of meter service lines, issuing duplicate, which are incidental or ancillary to supply of transmission or distribution service. So what is excluded here in this entry has been covered separately. So this is same like that about residential entry, where they have excluded hostel services in 12. Why? Because they covered it separately in 12A. So here again, they have excluded all these meter charges, meter transfer charges from 25. Why? Because they had to include it separately in 25A. So 25A basically covers all these services which is provided by these electricity transmission or distribution companies to their customers. And what are these services? Giving meter on rent, testing of meters, transferring the meters from one place to another, issuing duplicate bills. All these are covered here and exempted here. Next. Now there is a concept called as incubator. Incubating. Now what is this incubator? Incubating. Let us understand. So let us say you are a software engineer and you are very much skilled. You can develop good websites, you can develop good gaming programs, but you do not have the money to set up your own business. Why? Because being a technology driven business, you require high-end hardware, you require a strong this internet connection, the least internet connection, and all these things. Maybe you may also require satellite services, but you are not capable of having that own setup because the costing is very high. So you are that person who is called as incubatee. I am the incubator. Who am I? I am the investor. So I may be any big corporate house. What I will do, I will set up, I will first maybe purchase a place or rent out a place, and I will make it a high-tech place with all high-end hardware, softwares, and I will give it to you this place on rent. So you may take one small room, you may take the whole floor or 2, 3 floors, and here you may set up your software business. So here you are the incubatee. So who is the incubatee? Who is the entrepreneur? Who is located in the premises of. Now this place which I have developed is called as Technology Business Incubator or Science Technology Park. So the place which this I have set up is called as the Technology Business Incubator or Technology Park, and it should be recognized by the National Science and Technology Development Board of India. Now, when all these conditions are satisfied, so you have now taken my premises, which is a high-tech, fully equipped with all hardware, softwares, and a strong internet and maybe satellite service connections. Now here you are doing your business. What is your business? Developing various softwares, making various games, and selling to other companies. So here you will be getting exemption. What is the exemption? Whatever service you are providing up to rupees 50 lakhs in a financial year and up to 3 financial years. So in short, your output services up to 3 financial years, 3 years from the date you enter into an agreement with me as an incubatee. From that year up to 3 years, if your turnover is up to 50 lakhs, then you need not charge GST on that. Your GST is exempt for first 3 years. So it is basically to help these small businesses get established faster and need not pay GST up to 50 lakhs a year. Then comes another service, which is yes, which is research and development services. Now, this is provided to whom? You are providing this service to the government, and the government is making payment to you in the form of grants. So when you are giving this research to the government or to any research association, universities, in that particular case, the research services for which you are getting the grants is what is exempt. Next, taxable services by the incubator. Now, what is my service? I'm giving you my premises. So this point is connected to that incubatee point. So your business turnover is exempt as an incubatee. And what is my service which I am providing? I am providing the service of giving you that ready place for coming and starting your business. So what I'm charging is like a rent. That service is what is exempt. Then this is important. You are an independent journalist. See, one is you are an employee of some news channel or a newspaper that is anyways out of GST because it is an employer-employee. Here you are working as an independent journalist. What is your role? Your role is collecting the news, and then you may give it to a news channel or to any newspaper. So in such cases, you get the charges. So you are independent journalist. You are on different places. Maybe you are doing the coverage of this Iran war, and you are providing some insights to various news channels or to various newspapers. So they pay you for doing this. Your services are eligible for exemption. Second, you are running a public library where people come and take books on rent, or they go there for reading books. Like even as students, you join libraries. So whatever are your charges by way of taking books or publications or any other enhancement content, that is what is eligible for the exemption. Next, where you are organizer of what exhibition, and this exhibition is held outside India. Now in such cases, the organizer is eligible for exemption because this exemption is to promote our business outside India. So as an organizer, what I'm doing, I'm conducting business exhibitions in cities like UAE, Dubai, or in UK, US, and then you, the Indian businessman, is taking one of the stalls in my business, in my exhibition, and I'm charging you rent for that stall. So I am acting as the organizer of these exhibitions, and where is this exhibition held? Outside India. Then whatever charges I'm taking from you will be fully exempt. Next, for fruits and vegetables, nowadays, there are some activities done after they are taken from the farm. So in order that these fruits and vegetables can be preserved for a longer period, so that they can be sold in different parts of India or even exported, what type of activities have to be done? Preconditioning, pre-cooling, ripening, waxing, retail packing, labeling. So for all these services, the farmer or the middleman, they give their fruits and vegetables to me. What I do is I provide them all these services so that their fruits and vegetables can be stored for a longer period of time, and they can be maybe easily transported to different parts of the world. So my services of preconditioning, pre-cooling, ripening, waxing, etc. done on these fruits or vegetables is exempt. Yes, Satish, even YouTube journalists, if they qualify as journalists, and for journalists, see, there are exams whereby they get that particular specific recognition or qualification of journalists. Once they pass that, whether they are doing it for online or for offline news channels, it makes no difference. It will be eligible for exemption. Next, we have the cold chain warehouses, cold storages, right? Now, when people want to start their cold storage, they require insight, they require information. This information is provided to them by National Center for Cold Chain Development. They provide them different type of information knowledge so that people can set up their cold storage. So for this, whatever charges are being imposed by this National Center for Cold Chain, those charges are eligible for exemption. Next, we have different countries, diplomatic missions coming to India. Now, whatever services these foreign diplomatic missions give, those services are covered in the exemption. Then, all these trucks which are operating across India for transporting goods, they have to take a permit so that they can transport between different states. This permit is called as national permit. If they don't take this permit, they are not allowed to take goods from one state to another. So this national permit, that is why you'll find on all these trucks which are moving between different states, they write NP. NP, they suggest that they have taken this permit. Now for this permit, they have to pay the charges for getting this permit. The charges are exempt. Next, under the RTI Act, if you want any information, there is some charges that is to be paid. These charges which are paid to get any information under the RTI Act, those charges are made exempt over here. Now coming to again an important entry. What is this entry? In fact, this is also important. The charges paid to RTI. Next important entry for the exams is this entry, entry 68. Now, who are you? You are a player, a referee, umpire, a coach, or a team manager. You are participating in sporting event which is organized by a recognized sports body, and this particular service is provided by you to a recognized sports body. So let us say you are appointed as a referee, coach, umpire by the BCCI or the ICC, which are recognized sports bodies. Then whatever charges you are paid to act as a player, referee, umpire, coach will be exempt. However, services by individuals such as selectors, commentators, pitch curators, or experts, like you'll find this before the matches, there are pitch curators whose interview is taken. You have some experts who are giving their views, what will happen of that particular match, and then you have commentator selectors. Their services are fully taxable. Further, services of a player to a franchisee. Now in IPL, the players are not hired by any BCCI. They are purchased by franchisees in auction. So here, the player is providing service to the franchisee, not to BCCI. So in all such cases, their services are taxable. So first, services of selectors, commentators, even done for BCCI is taxable. Why? Because they are not covered in the above list. And second, in matches like IPL or all these formats which have started for hockey league, you have started for kabaddi, you have started charges we hear that this player is sold this year for 25 crores. So that is their fees. What the franchisee will be paying to that player, that is fully taxable. Then comes public conveniences. What are these? So whenever you are traveling, especially, you want to go to a washroom, either you go to a hotel, but many times when you are traveling and you are on the roadside, or you are in some place of pilgrim where you are walking and you need a washroom for your convenience. In such cases, you have a place called as Sulabh Sauchalay. I'm sure you will have heard this name. So these are the public conveniences. What facilities they are providing you? They are providing you facilities of bathrooms, washrooms, lavatories, urinals, etc. And they take some nominal charge, 5 rupees, 10 rupees. Those charges which they are charging to you for using that washroom is exempt. Correct? So those charges are exempt over here. Then honorarium pays to guest anchors. Now you'll find that in many TV debates, there are various people who are participating in the debates, and many times there are guest anchors. Now, when you invite a guest anchor, that person obviously will be charging you some charges. Let us say, call it as honorarium. The question was whether these guest anchors would be qualified in any of the above entries, like a journalist or something. Answer is no. See, anchor is not a journalist. Anchor is also not fitting in any of the above entries. Why? Because the anchor is only sharing his views. So when you invite a guest anchor to whom you are paying any honorarium, that honorarium is liable to GST. There is no exemption because they are not journalists. So students, with this, we have completed all the list of exempted services. Come to an interesting section, section 11. Remember, we started this chapter of exemption with section 11. What was section 11? Section 11 was the section which was giving you the power. Giving you means giving government the power to give exemption. So in 11, we studied the power given to the government to exempt by way of notification or special order. And under that section, you have all this list of notification, which we just studied, which is about exemption. Now, very recently, a new section is also added, section 11A. What is section 11A? It is similar to exemption. It is again giving government the power. Power to do what? Not to recover tax. Something like exemption. But this is a very unique point. What is this unique point? See, above, all the exemption notifications that we read, which were issued under section 11, those were exemptions where government had given the exemption and hence you have not paid tax. Now here under 11A, what is covered? 11A covers those cases where either you have not paid or you have short paid the tax. So either it is not paid at all or it is short paid. But why? As a result of general practice. Now you'll say, sir, what is this? See, we changed from service tax to GST. Now when GST came, it was a new tax. But people had some conceptions in mind, either because they were having exemption to their goods or services in earlier VAT or excise or service tax. They presumed that the exemption is continuing. And this happened not with one or two individual, it happened with that entire sector. So like in case of GTA, earlier, transport of cotton and cotton bales was exempt under service tax. However, in GST, that exemption was removed. Now, people were not yet very well versed about this because otherwise the entire exemption entry of GTA is same in service tax and in GST law, except this one point, that is transport of cotton bales. Now, because of this, every GTA was still following the exemption, or the businesses were still following the exemption. And this was a general practice. What is the general practice? Where the majority of the people are doing this, not one or two, majority are doing this. So in that industry, in that sector, this is the general practice which is followed by majority people. Now, because of this practice, or because of that misunderstanding, they were not paying tax. In such cases, when later on they realize after 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years that no, this case is taxable. The challenge was what happens for the earlier period. Now there was a lot of problem with this. So the government brought in, or the parliament, the GST council brought in this concept whereby now they are again empowering the government. What they are empowering? They are saying that if the government is satisfied that it was a general practice followed. What is the practice followed? Of not paying tax. And because of this practice, certain tax was not being levied, or was being levied but at a lesser rate. So whatever is the tax which is not levied or which is short levied, the government is now having the power that it can exempt you from not paying this tax which you did not pay as a result of general practice. So government can exempt you. What it can do? It can now again pass a particular notification whereby it will say that, the notification will say that you are not required to pay that amount which was not paid or which was short paid because of this general practice. Now, under this particular section, till date, there are no notifications being passed yet, but because it is a very recent section, but in future, you may find some cases being covered here also where the government may later on regularize their non-levy or short levy, that is, allow them that, okay, you did not pay tax, no problem, I am now giving you exemption. Now, obviously, this exemption will be retrospective. Obviously, it will be under specific circumstances, and for this circumstances, the government will be passing a particular or issuing a particular notification. Fine, just a minute. Yes. So Lohit has some question. Yes, Lohit, beta.
Sir, recently in Bangalore, there was a case regarding like this 11A only. Like most of the tea vendors or like tea shops who were not paying GST were served with notices. And finally, after like a battle of let's say 7 or 8 months, they came to a conclusion that you can pay only composition tax of 1%. From the present year, that is from 2025, not the
Okay.
previous. So does this Does this case been included in 11A or no?
See, if it would have been 11A, they would have been asked not to pay any tax.
Oh,
So
okay.
what, see, anyways, by composition, because you are still in the lower limit. See, for composition, if you remember, the limit for sale of goods is 1.5 CR. So if their business is below 1.5 CR, what they can do is they can pay tax at a lower rate of 1%. But since they are paying tax, there is no question of this exemption. Na?
Okay, sure.
Yes. Anyways, under this, there is no exemption which is still passed. Correct?
Okay.
Okay. Now I'll take you to statutory updates which are relevant. So I'll take both the chapter updates here only. So we have till now whatever chapters we have done. Out of that, only 2 chapters have some updates. First is the chapter relating to charge of GST. Now in charge of GST, we have studied that few services, when they are supplied through e-commerce operator, the liability to pay taxes on the e-commerce operator. This is as per section 9.5. Now, what are the services we studied? It was service by way of transportation of passenger using motor cab or motorcycle. So you have these Rapido, Ola, Uber, that is covered. Secondly, transportation of passenger by omnibus. Third, accommodation in hotel in guest. So you have this Make My Trip, all these apps. Then we have the Urban Clap or the Urban Company app, which provides services of housekeeping such as plumbing, carpentering, etc. And then you have Zomato, Swiggy, which is supply of restaurant service. Now all these we already studied. Now there is one addition. What is this addition? Service by way of local delivery. Now what is this local delivery? So recently in last 1 year, you will find new apps like Porter, like Blinkit. So these apps are themselves not selling the goods, but what they are doing, they are carrying your goods from one place to another and they are charging you some fees, some amount, 20 rupees, 30 rupees for transporting your goods from one place to another. Now this has to be a local delivery. Local delivery means within your city limits. So this is also now covered in 9.5. So all these apps like Blinkit, Porter, not Blinkit, sorry, because Blinkit will be you are purchasing goods through Blinkit if I'm not wrong, but Porter, who is only doing delivery, taking or transporting your goods from one place to another, these apps are covered. So now since these are new apps, these apps are covered. Satish, these updates are available on our BOS portal. I have downloaded them from our BOS portal only. So you have a tab called as amendment/development. In that, when you click, you will have again foundation, inter, final. You click on inter, and in inter you will find subject-wise updates. Now these are the updates which are given as updates for May 26 exams. Fine, Satish. Now GTA. Now GTA, if you remember when I was teaching you GTA at that time, I had said over there you will find the rate as 12%, but I told you that that 12 has become 18%. So this is what is the notification. So in GTA there are 2 rates, 5% or 18. So earlier what was 5 and 12 has now become 5 and 18. The same is in case of service of renting of a motor car which is designed to carry passengers. So where you are giving GTA service, earlier there were 2 rates, 5 and 12. Now they are 5 and 18. Similarly, where it is a rent-a-cab, it was 5 and 12. Now it is 5 and 18. Now coming to amendments in exemption. So amendments in exemption is, now in the GTA service, they have in the explanation said that nothing contained in this entry shall apply to local delivery services provided by an electronic commerce operator. In short, Blinkit or this porter who is only doing delivery of your goods from one place to another is not covered in GTA. It means it is fully taxable. Similarly, local delivery services provided through an e-commerce operator. So either the e-commerce operator is itself doing the delivery or you are selecting the operator through e-commerce operator. In short, wherever there is local delivery, the local delivery is not covered in GTA, so it will not be eligible for any benefits of GTA. In short, local delivery is now considered as a separate type of transport service, separate and independent from the GTA. Correct? So this point we also found in the previous chapter of charge. Over there also, they had excluded this local delivery from the GTA entry. Why? Because now they want to treat this local delivery as an independent service. And this local delivery is now included in 9.5 list. So wherever you are doing delivery using some app, that app will be liable to pay GST under 9.5. Now comes 36C. What is 36C? Again, if you remember, I had mentioned this, that from 22nd of September, all the life insurances and all the health insurances which is provided to individual is exempt. So what they have said, see, they have said life insurance business provided by an insurer. So now it is any life insurance, but it should be not to a group. It should be to an individual, right? Same thing is for health insurance. So what is health insurance? Again, any health insurance service which is provided to an individual, not to a group. This is what is exempt. Now there is an important explanation. What is the explanation? This exemption shall apply to a contract of insurance where the insured is either an individual or the individual and the family of the individual. For the purposes of the above, family shall include all individuals insured as family in the contract of insurance. So here there is no restriction that it should be including only spouse or children. It will include all those family members who are covered in the same contract of insurance. In short, what will be still taxable is where the insurance policy is for businesses, like businesses are taking insurance of their employees, businesses are taking insurance of their directors, partners. That is what will not be exempt. Only where the insurance is, the contract of insurance is between an individual and the insurance company, only then it will be exempt. So this exemption we had orally discussed. So now here we are seeing this. And second, for same insurance, whatever reinsurance services you are doing, the same reinsurance is also exempt. So the main insurance and again the reinsurance. Now, amendment in the definition. Now we had the definition of GTA. Now for this, there is an amendment relating to that local delivery. What is now the new definition of GTA? So GTA means a person who provides a service in relation to transport of goods by road and who issues a consignment note, but it will now not include. Who is not included? E-commerce operator by whom service of local delivery is provided, or e-commerce operator through whom the service of local delivery is provided. So all these apps like Blinkit, Porter, who are only delivering your goods from one place to another, where you are only taking their local delivery services, these will not be treated as GTA, and hence they will not be eligible for any benefits of GTA. Again, the rates of this will be separate or independent from GTA. And most important point, these are not eligible for exemption. They are fully liable to tax. And as we saw in the chapter of charge, they are liable to tax under 9.5. Next, for the purpose of entries as serial number 36 C and D, these are what? Insurance services. Group means, now we all saw above in the entry that where the service is provided other than to a group, it is exempt. Now what is a group? Group means group of persons who join together with a commonality of purpose or for engaging in a common economic activity other than availing insurance, and includes. So as I was saying, whose insurance are still taxable post this amendment, where an employer is taking insurance for its employee. So where an employer-employee relationship exists between the master or the group policy holder and the members of the groups in accordance to the applicable law. Second, non-employer-employee groups. Now you'll say, sir, what is this non-employer-employee groups? So as I said, where the firm is taking services of insurance for its partners, that will also be covered in the group. It means it will be taxable. So non-employer-employee groups where a clearly evident relationship exists between the master and the group policy holder, like it is the company director or it is the firm and partner. So such services will be considered as services for group and they are not eligible for exemption. So in very simple words, if I have to put it, it is same like that residential accommodation entry. So where residential accommodation is taken by a business, it will be taxable. Same lines, where insurance is taken by a business for its employees, partners, directors, that is now taxable. Simple. Fine. Next, another definition amendment is in the definition of health insurance. It means effecting of contracts which provides for sickness benefits, medical, surgical, hospital expense benefit, whether for inpatient or for outpatient, and it also covers travel plus your personal accident policy. So health insurance definition is expanded to go beyond only your medical treatment. It also covers travel cost, because nowadays there is a concept called as healthcare tourism. Like, if you'll be knowing, India has become a very big spot where people from different countries are coming and staying in India only for their treatment. So if somebody has to get a major surgery done, or if somebody wants to undergo a long-term treatment like cancer or something, people are specially coming and staying in India. And now, why it is called as tourism? Because these hospitals are taking care of their entire stay, everything. So hospitals have tied up with different hotels or different smaller lodges where the relatives of these people, because when you are coming from a place outside India, your relatives will also be coming along with you. So now, why it is called as tourism? Because they are now providing you all the facilities. So the moment you land at any Indian port, from there, everything will be taken care of by this entire industry, which is the healthcare tourism. Now, everything is not covered in exemption. We are not saying that all these things are exempt. I'm just explaining you what it is covering. So in health insurance, nowadays the policy also covers travel cost. So we are also going to give exemption to such healthcare, provided it is not given to a group, it should be given to an individual. And group means any business entity, right? So students, with this, we have completed the entire chapter of exemption, plus the statutory amendments relating to these two chapters, which have been completed till now. So in short, all statutory amendments for the chapters we have completed till date are now covered. So when we'll cover the further chapters like value and all, we will cover the statutory updates of those chapters as well. So from my side, I've completed. Now, if there are questions, I will take up those questions.
Sir, these amendment are we have to learn these amendment, and where we will find
100%, Beta. In fact, you should always focus on the amendments, because amendments are generally the favorite of examiners.
because
Right?
there are certain changes also.
So, Beta, we discuss those changes only. Na? Amendments are changes only.
Yes,
Na?
sir.
So what other changes you are talking about, Beta?
Sir, where we will find this?
Beta, on the portal, I just told, na? You go to the BOS portal. One second, let me see if I can show you now. Because I always, as I told you earlier also, it is my approach that whenever I have to take a class, I download the latest BOS material. And even for this updates, I go to BOS. We have everything on our portal. Beta. Let me show you 1 second. So see, this is our BOS portal, right? Now see, these are the different tabs. Here you have this tab of amendments. Can you see?
Yes, sir.
I click it here. Now you have intermediate, final, self-paced. I'll click on intermediate. Now here you have paper-wise amendments and also attempt-wise. So like corporate law for May exam, corporate law for Jan exam, corporate law for September. Anyways, these exams are over. So what you will be now clicking on is this. Similarly, what I did is, even for indirect taxes, you had statutory updates for January and statutory updates for May. So since now Jan exam is over, and I'm assuming you are updated up to that point, because anyways our module is updated up to that point. So only for this part, that is May exam, I will click here. I will get this statutory update. See, so the update which I'm showing you right now is what I have taken from here itself. So everything is available on our portal. You don't have to go anywhere else.
Sir, my book is of May 2024. So which amendment I have to do?
But it is so difficult. Then I will suggest the same thing what I suggested another student. Please take the latest module from which I'm teaching. That module is available on our portal, and take this one statutory update. Take the printout of these two, that is done. Nothing else. Or wait for around 1 or 2 months more if possible, and we will have another module which is amended, including this amendment also. You can use that. But if let us say you have your May exams, then better is you download the present module which is there on our portal and this statutory update. Take a print if you want a physical copy. That should be sufficient. Because doing changes in that your book is very difficult.
So for September attempt, this May one is sufficient. If another amendment, it will come now for May, for September 2026.
Yeah, so there may be amendments now, but you don't know how many amendments will be there. So whenever it will come, you can only mark those amendments. Na? But your book is too old. Na? Your book is May 24, which is so old. Please don't refer that book for any subject, I'll say. Take all these modules, download them. If you want physical, take a print of them. That is sufficient.
Okay.
Yes, Samiran has a question. Sir, in entry 12 states that GST is exempt if the rented place has taken for residential purpose. If the registered person has taken the place for commercial activity, then GST will be payable, obviously, beta. So I mentioned this. I gave you example that like CAs, lawyers, they have their offices in flats. So for that, exemption is not available. Two conditions: the place should also be residential accommodation, and the purpose should also be residence. If yes, then how registered person pay GST on that service? Did he need to issue self-invoice? Yes, once it is under RCM and your supplier is unregistered, you have to issue self-invoice. You're right, Samiran. Yes, Meenu Kumari. So this is the place from where you can take your notes and use them. Yes, Dhanlakshmi.
Yes, sir. Sir, that an example was then as a place of supply.
Yes, I've opened that page, but tell me your doubt.
There only, sir, 4.18.
1 second, I share my screen.
Okay.
Yes, here I have opened this page. Is this the page?
Yes, sir. That is the page. But issues is there, no, sir. Not there, sir. Down one.
This?
No, sir. Still down. A place of supply. The clarification is this one, sir.
So now what it is saying? Place of supply of goods, particularly being supplied through e-commerce platform like Amazon, for example, to unregistered person where billing address is different from the address of delivery. So let us, but always I say you should first take example, not X and Y. X and Y will not make you understand. Let us take a practical example. Where are you from?
Bangalore, sir.
Bangalore. So you are from Bangalore, Karnataka. I'm from Nashik, Maharashtra, right? Now, let us read this. Mr. A, an unregistered person located in X state. So you are the person. So Dhanlakshmi, instead of reading A, we'll call it as Dhanlakshmi. So Dhanlakshmi is located in Karnataka, right?
Yes.
So she places an order on an e-commerce platform for supply of mobile phone. So let us say you are placing order on Flipkart of some mobile phone, which is to be delivered at an address located in Y state. Now, give me another state address where let us say some of your relatives are staying, which is not Karnataka. Can you name any other state where any of your relatives are staying?
Tamil Nadu, sir.
Tamil Nadu. Which place in Tamil Nadu?
Any place, sir.
Okay, so Chennai. So let us say your grandparents are from Tamil Nadu, Chennai. Now, you want to buy a mobile phone for them. So what you do, you place an order online. You are from Karnataka, and you are unregistered. But the delivery you are not asking in Karnataka. You are asking in Tamil Nadu because they stay in Chennai, right? Now, while placing the order on the e-commerce platform, provides a billing address located in X state. Now, obviously, you only want the delivery in Chennai.
Yes.
But bill you are going to pay. So for the purpose of billing, you are giving your address, that is Karnataka. In such scenario, what would be the place of supply? Correct?
Yes, sir.
What is said? As per 10.1 CA, what did we study in 10.1 CA? 10.1 CA says it is the address which is mentioned on invoice.
Yes, sir.
Now, so the place of supply of goods shall be the address of delivery of the goods recorded on the invoice. So now when you are ordering this, the place of supply is which place? It is Chennai. Why? Because the goods are to be delivered at Chennai. Hey, beta, I don't know why you have this confusion, but I suppose you are having this confusion because you are relating it with 10.1B where there were 3 parties, correct?
Yes, sir.
And in that 3 parties, the answer was which place is the place of supply? It is the billing address, correct?
Yes, sir.
But beta, that is applicable. See, 10.1A, 10.1B, those are designed for registered persons. But when the person is unregistered, you have to only come to 10.1CA.
Okay, that means on the invoice there is an address. That address we are not supposed to take, sir. It's delivery
There are 2
address only.
addresses on invoice. See, whenever you see any GST invoice, na beta, even in the chapter on invoice, when you'll study, you'll find this point. You have to write 2 address. One is the billing address. So in
Billing
this
address.
example, your address of Bangalore, Karnataka is the billing address. Fine.
Billing address. Yes, yes, sir.
Then there is one more address, which is compulsory. The invoice has to mention this. That is the delivery address. Now, at times, both these addresses are same. So let us say, had you purchased this mobile and asked them to deliver at your place only, it would have both the addresses would have been same. But
Same,
many
yes.
times, the billing address and the delivery address are different. And many times this happen in case of online more frequently because let us say your grandparents are not comfortable using online. So they have asked you to do that. So billing you have done in your address, but delivery you have put their address. Or let us say you want to give them on their anniversary or one of their person's birthday. So what again you are doing the same thing. You are going on the Amazon app, you are selecting a mobile, you are putting your address as billing address, but you are putting your grandparents' address, which is in Tamil Nadu, as the delivery address. Correct? So
Yes,
now on
sir.
there are 2 addresses. Now this becomes that bill to ship to type of transaction, correct? Now I think your
Yes.
confusion is because we studied that one case which is bill to ship to. But remember beta, 10.1A, 10.1B. 10.1A is where there are 2 persons, 10.1B where there are 3 persons. Both these sections have to be seen wherever the buyer is a registered person. The moment buyer is unregistered person, don't see 10.1A, don't 10.1B, directly come to 10.1CA.
Okay. In 10.1C, that means the address on the invoice we are not supposed to take. The delivery address we are going to take.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, sir.
Why? Because the recipient is unregistered. So finally, see, we want the place of consumption as the place of supply. So in this case, what is the place of consumption? Obviously, the phone will be used in Chennai by your grandparents. So we want Tamil Nadu only as the place of supply. That will be the answer as per 10.1C.
Okay, sir. Thank you,
Fine,
sir.
beta?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
beta.
Thank you.
I hope your doubt is now clear completely.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Perfect.
Sir,
Yes.
amendments
Yes, sir.
with study. Sir, in this study material, with RTP, MTP, I have to read with amendments is my compulsory, sir. Read to compulsory.
See, beta, this is what is a challenge with taxation subject MTP, RTP because they are going to be as per the old laws. So that is why if you remember in one of our previous sessions, I had asked that you take MTP, RTP not beyond 1 year old. So you will get for 2 or 3 exams MTP, RTP. That is sufficient for tax papers because if you go very old and there are amendments, see the problem is you should be able to understand which section has undergone amendment. If you are able to understand that, then you can even refer to the old ones. But many times it is very difficult for you all as a student to see the amendments or incorporate the amendments in the MTP, RTP answers. In such cases, I suggest that you go only 1 year back and you have anyways these statutory updates so that you are able to match easily. If there is any amendment, you can make the amendment in the answer and then study them.
Okay,
Understood, better?
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, better. But obviously, you'll have to refer the amendments before you refer those answers of old MTPs and RTPs. So students, that's it from my side. Mehak, beta, you have to see the book which will be delivered. If your book is covering the latest amendments, then you do not have to take a hard copy of these amendments. So you just see which date is coming on the book, it is up to which attempt, right? Beta, MTP, RTP answers are again on the POS portal only. In fact, in the MTP first there is question and then there is answers. So you'll get it at the same place, beta. Right? Yes, students. So thank you very much. And yes, once again, very happy Holi to all of you all. So keep studying. Have a balanced approach to your studies. Be in a good state of mind whenever you are studying. Good state means both things, disciplined and at the same time not overburdened by unpractical and unreasonable schedules. So give your mind breaks throughout the day also, and after 14-15 days you can take a half day or a full day break. So that will rejuvenate your mind and keep it always ready to absorb more. So with this, we close our today's session and we again connect for the next topic in the coming days. So thank you, students. Good night. Take care. And happy Holi once again. Yes.